Welcome back to another episode of What Are You Made Of with your boy, the unstoppable Mike C-Roc. I'm in the house today with my friend Jessica Bojorquez. She is an entrepreneur, a realtor with eXp Realty, and she specializes in video marketing and selling luxury real estate. She believes in the quality of communication, storytelling, and creating elevated experiences to welcome her clients home while helping other agents become more successful with their real estate business using video marketing. She's also a co-author of the Principals of David and Goliath, Habitude Warrior Book Series, and motivational book inspired by biblical stories to represent individuals who've shown success and resilience through great trials and tribulations. The book is co-authored by several #1 best-selling authors and celebrity authors. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Yeah, so I forget, did we meet on Clubhouse?
We did. We did
Okay.
meet on Clubhouse.
I thought so. I thought so. I
Yeah.
couldn't remember because, now that things are opening up, I'm going to live events now. And it's not just Clubhouse. It was just Clubhouse for a while. I was meeting people, but now it's like all over the place. So yeah, we met on Clubhouse. I brought a lot of guests from Clubhouse. And no, we had a call and set up after that and connected. And one of the things I want to throw out there to people is like, if you want to really network with people and get to know people and you don't, like all over the country, even the world, 15-minute Zoom calls are the key. Like I have a Calendly set up, which you scheduled on, by the way, right?
Yeah.
And I have it set up on purpose for 15-minute connection calls on one of my links. And when I do that, I just send the link to people, they schedule, and then we have 15 minutes. And we know we have 15 minutes to get everything we need to do knocked out. And it's awesome because it's very efficient. And I met some of the greatest people this way with these 15-minute Zoom Calendly calls. So anyway, I got off on a tangent for a
And
second.
that's okay. No, I completely agree with you because not only that, it gives us a point and a chance to you can learn a lot from somebody in just 15 minutes, and be able to have a conversation with that, and not only meeting people, because our interactions are pretty brief on Clubhouse, just depending on which room we are. But not only that, I just feel like we're kind of in the same circle, and when we are able to come together in a brief conversation, 15 minutes face to face on Zoom, and be able to get to know each other a little bit better after the 15 minutes, whether you're kind of able to work with that person or collaborate with that person or not. So
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect idea and a great way to not only become a better communicator with the people that you meet, but just get to know the people on a personal level. So I completely agree with you on those 15-minute Zoom calls.
Yeah, I love it. And it's also the questions that you ask and the listening that you do on those calls. But
Right.
by the way, I forgot. We start the show every time with this question. I'm getting off topic. Let's get to this first, and then we'll go back to the other stuff.
That's
Jessica,
right.
what are you made of?
I am made of pure resilience. I have, and the only reason why I say that is because I know I come from a long line of incredibly strong women in my life and my lineage, and I have lived a few lives in my 38, almost 38 years. I'll be 38 on Sunday. To
Well,
know
happy
that,
birthday, early.
thank you, to know that I am made of resilience. So yes.
And for those of you watching, and I'm going to dig in that in a minute, but for those of you watching, if Jessica looks like on the YouTube, because some people watch this on YouTube, if she looks hot, it's because she is.
I am physically melting.
Yeah. So that's a little inside joke. So she is a pretty lady too. Don't get me wrong,
Oh,
but she has no air conditioning and she's in Scottsdale area. So that's why. But I can't tell. I was just making a joke. So you can't see any. There's no beads of sweat. There's nothing. I know you may feel hot, but we can't tell. So anyway.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it is definitely hot in Scottsdale for sure, and with or without AC.
Yeah. Now, so talk to us about resiliency. Like what made you say that? And do you have some what do they call it? Anecdotes or
I
stories that have to do with that?
Oh my gosh, yes. And one of the things, and particularly one of the subjects and why I'm here today is discuss the book that I am co-authoring with other people, because it is a story about trials and tribulations and getting through great things out of your life, and coming above that and seeing what you are, and how you're able to learn through the darkness and what you were able to go through, but not only that, how you were able to come out of it. So, in my line of work, or what I have done through my life, I was a stay-at-home mom where I had everything to having to basically getting my world taken away and having to start from the ground up. Not only that, I was at my biggest weight of over 200 pounds, and I worked my way into becoming, into my I guess my goal weight. So I am at my best right now, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and working my way into financially by creating multiple businesses.
Let's go. Let's go. So
Yeah.
what happened? Like what's the situation? So you had a family, you were married, you're saying?
So I was in a 12-year relationship. I do have a son who is 18 now, and I got to spend a lot of time with him while he went to school. And so, during the 12 years and my basically my whole adult life at this time, I came into a knowing that this was going to be my life. And although I wasn't married, and my partner at the time was a stepdad, I figured this was it. And so, after 12 years of being with somebody and him coming home and basically saying that it's not working out, I had to figure something out, right? And I had to move on and get to a place where I know that, well, one, I lived a lifestyle where I didn't have to work, and now I have to, get pushed into the job force and work three full-time jobs, to be able to do what I'm doing, and not only build my career in real estate, but build myself back up. I had no idea who I was independently, aside from another person, or aside from being a mom. So it was a great trial and error to get to where I am. But not only that, start a company and a concept that there isn't really a lot of out there in my industry is real estate. Video marketing is not something that is portrayed in real estate. It is now, but it wasn't, a few years ago. So it's
Right.
it's definitely a jumping point, and being able to take off in that direction. It's been quite the journey.
Yeah. So let's unpack that a little bit of that, because there's people that are listening that go through similar things. There's people that have relationships now that, they're trying to figure their way through. There's people that have the similar thing happen and they're trying to recover. But like, just as far as I don't want to get into a lot of detail unless you want to, but the relationship itself, was it a situation where you can look back now and like, I did have some responsibility, or I had some control in that? I wasn't necessarily the effect of something. And what did you learn from that you could have, you know what I mean? Like some
I
people,
want
like they
I
play
want you to,
victim, and then other
yeah.
people say, you know what, that was on me. I should have saw that. I should have did this. And next time I know now to do this, and I can help other people.
And I want to take you to the journey, and I want to take the listeners through a journey of thinking how, you feel with your family, how you have everything under control, and then it's being taken away from you, and the thoughts and emotions. But not only that, and what I went through then to where I am now, in a place like I knew there were certain things that I had to go through within myself. Like I knew, because think the worst possible scenario, walking in on the person you love and their new person, right? Think of having to move out of your home and start from the ground up. Think of the emotions that one person would have, in the sense of trying to start her life over with her son, and having to go through these things and these emotions and this heartache. So finding out what I had to find out, there was a lot of forgiveness that I had to go through. And I knew that I wasn't my optimal self, learning that not only the person that I loved didn't love me anymore, but he moved on to somebody else. However, he was my best friend, and the person that I knew for 12 years. I knew that in my heart of hearts, I'm not I'm not the person that holds on to grudges and hatred and, you know, resentment. I knew that there was something that I need to do for myself to find a forgiveness so that way I can move on. Because obviously I knew I wasn't my best self, and finding that, you know, clearly there was a disconnect and
Yeah.
he didn't need
Yeah.
to be with me, but it could have happened a little bit better. And now to this day, I worked on it so much, and this is going on 6 years ago, that we're still really close. We're still really good friends till this day, because I made it a point to make sure to get over that, but not only that, heal fully and completely. So in
Yeah.
the book, I explained that not only has this happened to me, but it's happened to women in my lineage as well. So I put it in a perspective that this being a wounded woman is what I call it, because after betrayal, you know, after many months of thinking there's something wrong with me, I'm not able to make this relationship work. There's a lot of things that I need to work on for myself, and having to move through all of those aspects of my life of I really messed things up, and knowing that it really wasn't my fault. I mean, you know, there are things that of course I could have done differently, but in the aspect of a breakup, it wasn't all just one-sided. It was
Hmm.
obviously both. But in regards to explaining it in the book, I wanted the readers to understand that these types of situations happen all the time, and people find themselves having to start from the ground up all the time. And it's not about when it happens, right? When those great groundbreaking moments happen in your life where you're like, oh shit, I'm bleeding.
Catalytic moments. Yeah.
Yes, those low lows. It's about what are you going to do after that? How are you going to respond for yourself, and what steps are you going to take to ensure that you don't find yourself in that predicament anymore? So
Yeah, I love that. And one of the things I have on my shirt today, it says control the future. Control, like to the degree that you take responsibility, you take control. This is such a difficult topic to talk about with people, but I
yeah,
look at it in relationships all the time, because it really doesn't matter what the other person does.
right,
Because if you could just like separate that for a second, you have no control over that. We have no
no,
control over like, and so I always look at things, and this is just the way I approach it, and it's given me a sense of like power or control in a way, which I think we all kind of yearn for. We want
right,
to be in control. Control is a good thing,
right,
but like, what could I have done differently? Or what did I do to contribute to that? Because that's really all that matters. The other person, I'm going to forgive, or I'm not going to forgive, but we forgive, right? I'm going to
right,
forgive them, but it doesn't matter. They're human beings. They're flawed. All human beings are flawed. What can I control, right? And so this thing's, when I started thinking this way, it's changed everything for me in my life. Now it's relationships. It could be business. It could be finances. Every single thing, not about my fault or blame, who to blame,
right,
but responsibility. Like, what could I have done differently? And
right,
that's the question that helped me get through things, and then also recover from situations like you're talking about, like, because you did that at some point, whether it was consciously or subconsciously. You said, you know what, I got to get my shit together, and you started, like you said, you got in the best shape of your life. You went after and started attacking things, and that was a part of responsibility elevating.
right.
Right? Did
And
you feel that?
I did, and it took me a while, because you have to understand, you know, from where I was, and I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not trying to compare,
Yeah,
but
no.
from where I was, I had no idea what my identity was. I'm a young mom. I had my son at 20, and I got into a relationship shortly after that lent, you know, and then had to start my life over in my 30s. So
Which is
me,
still way young, by the
which
way.
is still
Like,
way young. As a matter, you know, I'm peaking. I'll be 38 on Sunday.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
But however, you know, I have to go from the ground up. Like, hey, okay, well, I guess here's the layout, and I know what I don't want. I know where I am, and I know that there are a lot of things that I need to change. Like, for one, when I look in the mirror, what do I see for myself? And it took a lot of soul searching, like like a lot of soul searching to
Yeah.
be able to look in the mirror at 200 pounds and see a person sweating, and say, hey, I accept you as you are. You know, we got this. No matter how hard things are going to be right now, we know you just got to talk to yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and have a frank conversation with yourself sometimes. And even then, even when you can't really see the future or it happening, you just have to have that knowing, and that I guess, like you said, that control of hey, I know that there's something different, and I have to believe in that, and I have to control what I'm doing right now and what I'm thinking for myself. And a big part for me is meditation, and I think a lot of my growth into just getting really, really, really silent with myself, and in a place to where I can be at peace.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is that when you started on your journey to get healthy, like what was some of the, like, where did that journey start? I guess because like you had to be okay with the way you were like as a person, but you
Yeah.
wanted to be healthier. So
Yes.
then like did you paint a picture of what you wanted to kind of look like and feel like? And then what were the steps that you used to start that journey?
Yeah, so I started off with a lot of guided meditations right before bed, and I started doing hot yoga. And as a matter of fact, I grew into teaching and managing a hot yoga studio after this. So I started in the mirror, hot yoga, sweaty, 110 degrees with 75% humidity. And I looked at myself in the mirror 3 times a week, up to every single day, and just kind of pictured myself and in a sense of I see you, and not focus particularly on any flaws, or anybody else in the room besides my thoughts of where I wanted to be. So it took a great length of focus in that aspect, and being able to get up to a point where I can do hot yoga every single day at 200 pounds. But that's not how I lost my weight. I started implementing trail running in the mountains out here in Scottsdale, and then after that, I took it inside to the gym, and now I'm doing weight training, all that fun stuff. But the point is, I went from not having that obedient practice for myself and not giving myself any time of the day because I thought at one point that was selfish, to making sure that I give myself at least 20 minutes a day. Luckily, my son is 18, and I've dedicated my life to my work, so I have a lot of time to give to myself. And usually, typically, you can find me giving myself maybe 2 hours out of the day. So,
Oh, that's cool. And then
yeah.
diet too. Did you start paying attention to diet and stuff too?
Yes, I think as I naturally progressed, I just kind of started eliminating things out of my diet. Now that was one of the hardest things for me because I'm an Aries, and it's just a natural instinct that if you tell me what to do, I'm not going to listen. So like in any sort of strict diet and like eliminating alcohol and tacos were not on my comfort list. So I had to find a way that was going to work for me. And so by being able to just naturally start taking in better foods, I still drink alcohol. I still have my tequila and glass of wine every once in a while, and taco if I want it. But now I just gotten to a point in my life where I just choose healthier lifestyle. It's just
Yeah.
natural for me now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great job, by the way.
Thank you.
So talk to us about the real estate and what you're doing with video marketing.
Oh my gosh. Well, as you know, Arizona is a hot market in real estate. And I started my career in real estate about 5 years ago. And 2 years ago, things started to shut down and I had to pivot into video marketing. I met with my title marketing manager, and he said, hey, how about video? I have no experience. I come from a humble beginning in Southside Phoenix. Like I didn't go to college for video marketing or anything like that, but we came up with the concept, we sat down, we wrote it out, and I just hit the ground running. So I came up with Virtual Tour Tuesday, and it's a platform where I feature my my luxury listings along with other luxury listings from agents. I provide free marketing for these agents to promote to potential buyers nationwide. And so I'm doing this consistently for 2 years. I've gotten I've gotten some attention on it, and I've been able to get, you know, tens of thousands of views. Not only that, I had Alex Stern as my guest. I've traveled to other states. And just recently, you'll see this by next week, I just featured Sharon Lecter's home out in Paradise Valley. So it's
awesome.
really, yeah, it's
Sharon's a friend of
really,
mine.
thank you. So it's really getting some attention and traction. And not only this, because it's helping me in my career, I have curated strategies on helping other realtors expand their businesses using video marketing as video marketing fundamentals and an introduction to YouTube and Google Ads. So by me pouring in my blood, sweat, and tears and all the money that I've made, I want to be able to show other agents, and not only that, I feel like it's a great agent attraction magnet material. So being able to do that and really help other people as servant leadership, you know, all the
good. And so Jessica, like with the lower inventory and houses not sitting for a long time, like. Yeah. Do you still do the video anyway, just to use for promotion? Like,
I know
the houses go quick, right?
And that's the hard part, especially with the low inventory that we have, and why we specialize in luxury real estate, because luxury homes tend to stay on the market a little bit longer than you would find with the $400,000 home right now. But however, we do come into situations like that where the house is already sold before it's out. But in that case, I still promote it because it's a part of history. And if, you know, the viewer sees that house and they love it, or they're thinking about moving to Arizona, they can still call me and I'll be able to find them another house.
Great. Yeah. Promos you and your company too. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So how can the audience, if they happen to be in real estate, one, if they're looking to move to Arizona, or they happen to be in real estate and they're interested in talking to you about joining your team or getting some video marketing help from you, what's the best way for them to engage with you?
Oh my gosh. You can find me anywhere really on all the social networks at Virtual Tour Tuesday. Jessica Bojorquez. I do have a website, jessicabojorquez.exprealty.com, and but more than likely you can just find me Virtual Tour Tuesday. It's really, really simple, but I'm all over the place. Google me. It's awesome. Really easy to find.
As they say, Google me, bitch. I don't know where that came from. I just remember that phrase, like, Google me, bitch.
Google me. I have a 5-star rating. We're all good. I
hope I didn't just ruin the podcast with that line. But anyway. Hey, if you have a problem with that, look inside, folks. If you have a problem with that, that's on you. It's not on me. So, Jessica, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And
it was an absolute honor and a pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity. I really, really appreciate it. And you know, I have that book coming out and I'm co-authoring with some really, really, really great people and celebrity authors, and it's gonna be a nice book. So
when does that come out?
It comes out on the 21st of April.
Okay.
So really, really soon.
2 weeks. Yeah. So when this episode comes out, that book will be available. And is it going to be on Amazon?
It's going to be on Amazon. You can pre-order it. And yeah.
Well, they won't need a pre-order because by the time the show comes out, it'll be past that. Yeah. So let's go get that book, guys. If you're listening, go check out that book. It's called David and Goliath, Habitude Warrior Book Series. The Principals of David and Goliath. I'm sorry. That's the Principals of David and Goliath. Go check it out, guys. And I want to thank all of you for listening or watching on YouTube. If you like to listen, go to your favorite podcast platform. Go subscribe. Tell your friends about this show. And also, if you like to watch these, it's on YouTube. The YouTube channel is growing. We're putting some effort and work into that, and you're going to see that coming up. We keep coming back. And until next time,
what are you made of, right?
Yeah. What are you made of? Yeah, and be unstoppable.